Mm, Okay, so in the last class, just to quickly revise what we had looked at, diffusion is the process of movement of solute across the semi-permeable membrane, right? Solute molecules will move. In case of osmosis, solvent molecules will move across a semi-permeable membrane. Major difference between these two processes. Diffusion is the movement of solute and osmosis is the diffusion of the solvent molecule or movement of solvent molecule. So that way these processes are very different. Both of them, they happen across the concentration gradient. Yeah, I hope you like I had drawn the diagram on the board and explained you this process, like what is diffusion, what is osmosis, based on the uh, particular diagram. Okay, so and of course the endoosmosis, that is the osmosis movement of solvent molecule inside the cell, that is endo is inside, so that is endoosmosis, and exo is outside. So the movement of water molecule or solvent molecule through a semi permeable membrane outside the cell, that is exoosmosis. And we had looked at this example when the resins, they are soaked in water, or when they are kept in water, they swell up because they take in water, that is endoosmosis process. And when the grapes are put into the salt solution, they lose out water, so that is the process of exoosmosis. So coming, did you get to speak to her? No. Okay. So osmotic pressure, like why does the osmosis happen, is because of the osmotic pressure. Now this osmotic pressure is nothing but a minimum pressure that is required by the solvent molecule to push through as in to cross the membrane. Now the statement there might look a little complicated, but understanding wise it has to be so simple that whatever concentration gradient is being established by uh, across the semi permeable membrane, that should allow the water molecule or the solvent molecule to go across. So that is, that pressure is nothing but the osmotic pressure. In other terms, osmotic pressure of a solution is the measure of its tendency to take in water by osmosis process. That means just to let the osmosis happen, whatever pressure is required, that is called as osmotic pressure. And usually based on these different types of osmotic pressure, the osmotic solutions, they are classified into isotonic solution, hypertonic solution, and hypotonic solution. Sorry, I just by mistake I said based on the type of osmotic pressure. It's not based on type of osmotic pressure, but it is just the type of solution which is present. These osmotic solutions, they are of different types, that is isotonic, hypertonic, and hypotonic. I will skip this part, I will go to the board and then I will explain the same thing, including this one also on the board, because that will make it more clear. So spotlight. Okay, so let's first I will explain the concept of diffusion again, so that we all are on the same page with that aspect. So let's say this is a system which is separated by a semi-permeable membrane. So that's why this dotted line, that is a semi-permeable membrane. Let's say on both the sides there is this much amount of solvent, and on this side there are solute molecules, and on this side there are only these many solute molecules. Right? So when the diffusion will happen from higher concentration of solute. Right? Solute in this case is higher concentration of, I will write solute higher concentration, and solute lower concentration, right? So the movement will happen across the concentration gradient. Okay? That is what is diffusion, correct? When the osmosis has to happen, like let's say again, if I have to show you in the same system, osmosis will happen in the reverse direction. Osmosis will happen from this side, but of the water molecule and not of the solute molecule. So even if this is higher concentration of solute, the osmosis will happen from, now this is a dilute solution because there is low concentration of solute. This is concentrated solution, right? Because there is higher concentration of solute. So osmosis always happens from dilute solution to the concentrated one. Diffusion always happens from concentrated solution to the dilute solution. Diffusion is process of or movement of solute. The osmosis is of movement of solvent. Yeah. Now, in this is one. Now, what is hypotonic? Isotonic, hypertonic, and hypotonic. Right. Now, these terminologies, they are always used. These terminologies, they are always used in relation to other compartments. Or when we are talking of the cell, in that case, it is always referring to either inside of the cell or outside of the cell. We will see how. Now, for example, if there are, let's say, these 9 molecules, and in this case also, there are 9 molecules, same amount of solvent, same amount of solute. So that is what is isotonic. So these two compartments, they are isotonic with each other, right? It is always in relation. We can't say this compartment is isotonic, but with respect to what, that we have to say. So these two compartments or chambers, they are isotonic. Now let's go to cell. Let's say, for example, outside of the cell, you have 2 sodium molecules and 1 potassium molecule, right? And inside of the cell also, in the cytoplasm, you have 2 sodium molecules and 1 potassium molecule. Again, the nucleus, cell organelles will always be there. I'm just talking in terms of certain solute molecules. In this case, I'm taking an example of sodium and potassium ion. If outside are 3, inside are 3, that means they are same on both the sides. So the cell or the inside of the cell is isotonic with respect to the outside of the cell. Yeah. So that way we say it is isotonic. Again, one example here is, let's say there are only 6 molecules and same amount of water. 6 solute molecules, same amount of solvent. 6 solute molecules, same amount of solvent. They will still be isotonic. Yeah. Even this case, there are only 3 molecules and half of the water. Right? Now, water here is more or double than this, and 6 molecules of solute. Here, water is half and 3 molecules of solute. That is still isotonic, because when we calculate the tonicity, it is always solute molecule with respect to the solvent molecule from that compartment, and then it is compared with the other compartment. So this is still isotonic with each other, because the concentration, if you calculate in this compartment, will come ultimately to the same like in this compartment. Yeah, volume can be different. Volume is not considered here. Tonicity is not as such related to volume. Tonicity is related to number of solute molecules per how much of the solvent volume. So if we reduce the half quantity and if the solute is also half, they are still isotonic in nature. I hope this part is clear. Now, so that was the isotonic, right? And let's say you have these 6 molecules. It doesn't matter how you draw them. They are just has to be equal number if you are showing. Okay, so this was the example of isotonic. Now, hypertonic. Let's say I label this as compartment A and compartment B, and here I add more solute. Right? Now here I have 6 molecules of solute, 9 molecules of solute, same amount of solvent in both the compartments. So compartment A is hypertonic. Hyper means higher, more. So compartment B is hypertonic compared to A. Or compartment A is hypotonic. Hypo means less. So or low. So compartment A or chamber A is hypotonic compared to B. I hope this part is clear as well. Hyper, everyone knows, like we simply call it like what hyper features are you showing? Like why are you getting so hyper?
So, sir, sorry, I have a question.
Yes.
So, let's say you have A and B. So, B is hypertonic with regards to A,
Hmm.
and therefore A is hypertonic with regards to B.
Correct.
So, for any, so anytime the osmosis needs to happen, the solutions need to be hypertonic or hypotonic, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's all. That's all.
Okay. Now, so I hope this part is clear. Now, if we go to the cells, right? And let's say outside of the cell has more sodium concentration, inside of the cell has less sodium concentration. So inside cell it is hypotonic. Hypo is low. Hypotonic solution. Outside the cell is hypertonic solution. Yeah. So that way we always differentiate. Now in this case, if osmosis has to happen, it will happen from low concentration to high concentration of the solute. That is from dilute solution to the concentrated solution. Yeah, you should have this in your mind anytime that osmosis, dilute concentration or dilute solution to concentrated solution. Diffusion, concentrated solution to dilute solution. So that way the distinction has to be very clear in your head. What is osmosis? What is diffusion? Diffusion, if diffusion has to happen here, diffusion will happen inside the cell, right? If osmosis has to happen here, osmosis will happen in the reverse direction because the water will be more here with respect to the solute concentration. Because solute is less, so water will be more. That is from dilute solution, it will move outside. So that is your osmosis. This will be your diffusion process. Okay, so I hope the differences in all these aspects they are clear to everyone. If there are any questions, please ask. Okay. So then I'll go back to these slides. Okay, so that is what is being explained here. Yeah, isotonic solution, the same concentration of solute on both inside as well as outside the cell. If it is with respect to cell, if it is a chamber-like structure arrangement, then it is same concentration on both the in both the chambers. Hypertonic solution, one has higher solute concentration. Like if the cell is considered to be outside is considered to be hypertonic, then outside cell concentration, sorry, solute concentration will be higher than the inside. If Now, a hypotonic solution is the one that has higher solute concentration inside the cell than outside. So it is always relative, inside to outside or outside to inside. Depending on that, wherever low concentration is, we always mention is where that low concentration is, whether it's inside or outside. And tonicity in general, this part I missed on explaining, but it is nothing but the relative concentration of the solution that determines the direction and the extent of diffusion. So relative concentration as in how much of the solute is present in which of the side or which of the chamber, that is what is deciding the ultimate way or the path of the diffusion. That is called as, that relative concentration is called as tonicity. And based
Can
on
you
this,
repeat that?
sorry.
Can you re-explain it?
So tonicity is nothing but what is the amount of solute present in that particular solution. But again, in comparison, yeah, like
So
chamber area.
solute present in a particular solution with comparison to another solution.
Correct. So like inside to cell or outside of the cell, or in compartment A to compartment B. So that way it is always in comparison. So
Is it a number?
yeah, it's a relative concentration. Like let's say we say compartment A has 5 gram per liter of salt, and compartment B has 10 gram per liter of the salt, right? So the tonicity of these solutions will be respectively 5 gram per liter with respect to 10 gram per liter. Now if you have to decide the what you say, the diffusion, then obviously 10 gram per liter will allow the salt molecules to move towards the 5 gram per liter, because the tonicity of this 5 gram per liter is less compared to 10 gram of the salt per liter of the water or solvent. So that way we say tonicity is higher or lower or same. Okay, so I hope that part was clear. Now, one more thing that I should explain is this: what happens in case of when the water is moving inside, that is endoosmosis, or exoosmosis, that is being shown here. Now, again, imagine the outside of the cell is hypotonic, right? Outside of the cell is hypotonic. Again, the diagram here can be confusing because they have not mentioned what is hypotonic. Inside the cell is hypotonic or outside the cell is hypotonic. So that way it can create a confusion. But let's say I am assuming here outside the cell is hypotonic, inside the cell has higher concentration, so it is hypertonic. Inside hypertonic, outside hypotonic. Now in that case, the water will move from hypotonic to hypertonic, that is lower concentration of the solute to higher concentration of the solute. So you can see these arrows being moved inside, and the cell will get more and more water, and it will ultimately become turgid. Turgid, I guess I had explained it earlier, when there is lot of pressure on the inner walls of the cell due to the increased volume or increased substances present inside, that is nothing but a turgid cell. That is just a shape, like too much of the tightness on the cell membrane. So that is the turgid cell. So when the water will move inside, in when the cell is kept in the hypotonic solution, and inside of the cell is more concentration, outside of the cell is lower concentration, and that is when the turgidity will occur. So let's say if I ask you a question, what will happen to a cell which is kept in a hypotonic solution, then you have to explain whole of this process. Like if the cell is kept in a hypotonic solution, inside the cell there will be hypertonic situation, that is the concentration of solute is higher inside, so the water will start moving, that is the osmosis process will happen from outside to inside, that is endoosmosis. Water is moving inside, so that is endoosmosis, and the cell will become turgid. I hope this situation is clear to everyone.
So,
Yes.
so basically, if the water level outside the cell is more than inside the cell becomes turgid.
If the, come again, if the,
If the water level outside the cell is higher than
not only the water, see,
the
remember,
salts and stuff also, but
it is in
so
relation to the tonicity, that is solute concentration is also very important.
okay, so if the cell has less of it, then it becomes turgid because there's more of it outside.
Yeah. If you remember, I had shown it to you in percentage. I guess I can explain this part again on the board, that will be much easier. So let me go back to the board again. Let's say, for example, we have this cell, yeah, and inside the cell, we said hypertonic, correct? And outside the cell, it is hypotonic, right? Now I will just write hypo outside and hyper inside so that you will understand what I am referring. Now here and inside it is concentrated solution. Am I right? Inside the cell is concentrated solution because solute is high. Outside the cell it is dilute solution. Osmosis happens in this direction from dilute to concentrate. So, in case where a cell is kept in hypotonic solution, the water has to move inside. That is the process of endoosmosis. Right? This part is one situation. In other situation, let's say you have a cell, and now outside the concentration of the cell is high. And inside the concentration is low. So inside now it is hypo, outside it is hyper, and again this is dilute. Inside, outside it is concentrated, right? Again, osmosis will happen in this direction. Osmosis is not changing. Direction can change. Osmosis will always happen from dilute solution to concentrated solution. Diffusion will always happen from concentrated to dilute solution. Here also, if diffusion has to happen, it will again happen from concentrated to dilute. Osmosis is always from dilute to concentrated. So same in this case also, here it will be called as endoosmosis because water is moving inside. Now if the water is moving inside, cell will become turbid. Right? Because you can imagine you are filling in more and more water inside the cell. So obviously there will be a lot of water inside the cell. The cell walls become like really on tension, and that's what lead to turbidity. In this case, water is moving out of the cell, right? So that is exoosmosis. Exosmosis, right? And because the water is moving outside, the cell will kind of shrink. Or it is also called as flaccid, right? Or it is also called as turbidity and flaccidity, right? And when it is isotonic situation, there is no net movement of water. Even if water moves out, same amount of water comes inside. Because okay, I guess you can see the curve. So let me draw that. Now in this case, let's say there is same amount of fluidity. Outside as well as inside, there is same solute concentration, right? So this is isotonic situation. Now in this case, there is no difference in concentration. So there will be no solution which is dilute. There will be no solution which is concentrated. But let's say if the water moves out in this case, then the inside solution becomes concentrated, right? Because water is moving out. And then the outside become dilute. Again osmosis will happen, again water will move from outside to inside. So this process will go on in isotonic solution. But the net movement, whatever amount of water was coming outside, it same amount will go inside by the process of diffusion. Osmosis. So that way, this will keep happening. So net movement of the water, that is the total movement, is zero. There will be some movement, but the same movement will happen in reverse direction. So the net movement is zero. So isotonic solutions, they do not show any turbidity or flaccidity.
So, sir, so you said net movement is what determines the nature of the osmosis.
Yes.
So, can I define endoosmosis as osmosis where the net movement of the solute is into the medium rather than outside of it?
As in?
So, for example, like if the cell is endo, like if the cell is the object with regard to which we speak inside and outside, then can I say endoosmosis is the kind of osmosis where the net movement of the solute is into the cell.
Net movement is always considering all the directions.
Oh, okay, okay.
Right? So in this case, you cannot say net movement is inside because all the movement is not inside. There will be
So
some,
cancel out, yeah.
right? Exactly. So let's say 10 molecules are going inside and 2 molecules are coming outside. So the net movement is 8 molecules moving in. You got it, right?
Uh, not exactly.
Okay. So, how do I explain that one? So net movement always takes into consideration what, let's say for example, I'll give you an example of income and expenditure. That is a very good example in this scenario. Like, let's say you earn 10,000 a month and you spend 5,000, not 5,000, it will be equal. So let's say you spend 4,000 a month, right? So the net amount that you have is only 6,000 because you are spending something, right? That you are not taking into consideration. Though you are also earning 10,000, but the net income that you have is by default your. What do you say? So like let's say I again earn certain salary and I pay certain taxes also, right? So that taxes is not my net income. My net income is what I get in my hand. Yeah. So that way, whatever amount is going inside, there will be some which is going outside as well. So that the one which is going outside in this specific case will be minus from the amount of water that is going inside. So the net movement of this whole system is still the water moving inside because more water is going inside due to the concentration difference. So the net movement of water is higher here towards inside. In this case, it is outside. In this case, there is zero movement because same amount of water is going inside, same amount of water is coming outside. So that way, there is no movement. There is zero net, zero movement. Okay. Any question? Anyone else? I hope this part is clear because again, several different situations can be given in this case. Let's say I take a cell and I put it in concentrated solution. Concentrated solution, that means situation like this. So the cell has to be passive, process has to be exhaustless. Let's say I mention an example. I pick up a single cell and put it in hypotonic solution. That means a situation like this, right? So then the cell has to be exhaustless. But don't go by mugging up the things. Yeah, understand what is osmosis process and what is diffusion process. Like if you understand this part, this becomes very easy. So excuse me. Okay. So